to talk about the Taiwan stock market, and which shows quite fragile and hopeless recently. Um, so um, yesterday the TAIEX index has ended up 80 points and rising 68%, rising 68% of the gains from the first strong quarter. So the question goes to, have we reached the bottom? Or is this just an opening of a further tragedy? Well, I want to suggest tonight that, in my opinion, I think this declining trend is not going to stop anytime soon. And before I tell you why, let's have a quick tutorial of Taiwan's economic structure. So as the time chart shows that 47% of Taiwan's economic depends on export. So the question goes to what kind of product and where to? And actually the answer is not surprising. The product goes to electronics related and to China for about 26% and to the US for around 23%. Actually, in this line chart, we could see that 60% of the electronics-related products occupies our export. So, in brief, we could say that Taiwan economic builds on exporting the electronics products to China and to the US. So if both of them stumble, then actually we will fail. Okay. And unfortunately, both of them did stumble recently. In China, we could see that due to the euro crisis and the government's efforts on adjusting the economic structure, the economic growth just eased for 7 consecutive months. And in the US, the labor market still struggles. We could see that in May, the jobless rate just climbed up to 8.2% again, and the new jobs gains just far below the forecast data. Okay. So in short, the sluggish economic in China and in the US plus the euro crisis just distresses our exports. And actually, the export orders from Taiwan and from the US both declined in April. And the total export orders deteriorate further in April. Okay, and unfortunately, thus in this booming economic, we could hardly expect prosperity in our stock market. And unfortunately, again, we are not only struggling from the external environment, but also struggling on the domestic side. That is the uncertainties surrounding the capital gains tax. Okay. And we can see on this line chart that the daily turnover of the TAIEX index keeps shrinking from this February. But luckily, the tax issue has finally reached a better term recently. That is, the latest version of the tax issue offers a better condition to the major shareholders and to the higher income earners. So we could expect a further gain in the near future. Okay? So the biggest threat in the near term just goes to the euro crisis. And there are 2 main vital events that I would like to suggest you to follow up recently. The first one is the Greece re-election on June 17th, and the other one is the inception of ESM on June 30th. For the first one, the Greece re-election is very likely to determine whether Greece will stay in the euro area or not, although it is just only a small economy in the euro area, but its first exit could trigger a a domino effect on the rest of the members. And the other one is the inception of ESM. That is important too because if it could be incepted as scheduled, then then the rescue fund will be enlarged from the 240 billion euro to 500 billion euro. And this is important too because the experts believe Spain, which is the fourth largest economy in the euro area, will need a bailout up to 450 billion euro. So now we can see that we're actually on the crunch. Okay, and if the Greece just ends up exiting from the euro area or the Spain crisis explodes before the inception of the ESM, then the tariff index will very likely to plunge below 6,600 and embark a long way down. So just stay cautious and keep our fingers crossed for the euro. Toastmaster of the evening.